Hi, this is Chris Raveis, and I'm with our guest today, Tom Ferry. Thanks for coming today, Tom. So, Tom, it was great to have you here at our convention this year.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it.
We share similar philosophies. Our big statement this year and our whole theme around togetherness was the agent is our customer. What do you think about that?
We're at an inflection point right now in real estate. It's really become the sort of institutionalization of real estate, and then there's many of us that are just saying, this is still a family business, and that relationships matter, and we can do all the right technology and all the right training and all the right coaching and maintain that family value, and I see you guys doing that, and it makes me really proud.
Oh, it's nice to hear. Thank you. So, Tom, you are a master of social media.
Yes.
We as a company, we've been diving into social media over the last few years. What would be your top tips around social media?
Look, at the end of the day, YouTube is the #2 most trafficked website on the planet. And what I tell agents every day is they should be shooting 2 videos a day, because today your brand is in direct correlation to the number of videos you shoot and the message you're putting out in the marketplace. So today it's paramount. If you're not shooting videos today, you're essentially a secret agent, and your friends are going to forget who you are. It's that important.
Absolutely. Now, how do you progress that in an organization? What would be your tips for the agents out there and how to get engaged?
So what I tell people all the time is, look, if it's in your schedule, you're going to do it. Or another way to describe it is, if it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist and it doesn't happen. So I tell people, the optimal times are to shoot a video early in the morning, 3, 4, 5 minutes on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social channels your customers are at, and then do it again later in the day, right? If you're looking for what you should be saying on the content, all you have to do is think about your customers, buyers and sellers. What are their pain points? What are their challenges? What are their worries? What are their concerns? And if you just think about the questions you get from prospects, you can create a lot of content, 3, 4, 5 minutes, answering those questions for consumers. But on the flip side, when you think about your friends, your past clients, the people that you know, like, and trust, and they feel the same way about you, what do they want to know? You're the mayor of your town. You know the best restaurants, what's happening, what's not happening, and if you're just around town shooting videos about that. We see agents all over the world today interviewing local business owners, interviewing the principal of the school, and what happens is that brand association, brand connection, that agent William Raveis interviewing the principal of the school, people begin to see that and they say, that gal's got it going on. That's someone I can trust, and that's your brand.
Right. So, Tom, in the United States, you are the master coach of all master coaches. What advice would you have for us?
The first thing, first of all, thank you. 30 years later, I'm an overnight success, so we all know how that goes. You keep doing good things, and eventually good things happen. To be a great coach today, I think it requires, one, a tremendous amount of empathy. When I think about the men and women that are in the real estate business, that are maybe getting started, or they're 30 or 40 years in the business, right? They sit alone at night thinking about, where's my next transaction going to come from, and how am I going to better support my family, and am I going to be able to take care of my retirement, and am I doing the right things, and how do I get it all done? I have tremendous empathy because I've started my own businesses, and I know what it's like to feel, even though you're surrounded by all this support, entirely alone. So a good coach has the empathy to understand where they're at. And then number 2, we implement around what we call the 5 disciplines of execution, right? So number 1, what's your wildly important goal? Would it shock you to hear the vast majority of people say they have goals, and then when you dig deep, they really don't? They say, I want to make a little more money, or I want to lose a little weight, or I want to have a better relationship. And if we can't say how much of what, by when, what happens if you do, what happens if you don't, it's not real. So getting people to operationalize around crystal clear, what do they want? And then number 2, what are the KPIs for that? What are the leading and lagging indicators that are going to cause you naturally and automatically to get to your goal? See, success leaves clues. We know that if you talk to X number of people every single day, you're going to produce Y result. So those KPIs helping you get to the goal become really important. The third one, though, is the critical one. And that is, see, you and I play sports, right? You have kids, I've got kids, they've all played sports. Could you imagine going to a basketball game where they turned the scoreboard off and there was no more time clock? How much fun would that be? You'd be like, when is this gonna end, right? But because you get down to the last 5 minutes, when you hear that 2 minutes, right? You know that's when the game really clicks in. Well, Agents that are scoreboarding their success, that are showing, how am I doing? What are my numbers? How many appointments? How many listings? How many sales? And the time clock is, how much more time do I have left to get to my goal? Those people are winning. People that don't know their numbers and aren't tracking it that way, and they don't see it publicly inside the office, they're just not out there producing at the level that they could. Period, end of story. Number 4 is, you've got to up your cadence of accountability, right? So my son says, Dad, I want to go to college. Great. What's your goal for your GPA? I want to achieve this. Well, here's what I know. If I just let him go to university, and if we're going to talk, but I never brought up grades in school and how's it going, the vast majority of people, they will take the path of least resistance. The least resistance. And we know, starting businesses, being in the real estate world, you got to do the hard stuff if you really want to be successful. You have to do the things that average people are not willing to do. And the way you get there, the way you take a goal when your behaviors are over here and get them aligned, is accountability. Now, accountability isn't me calling and saying, God darn it, Chris, do your job, right? But it's, Chris, how are you? What's going on? What's getting in the way? You told me you were committed to selling this much. You told me that you wanted to have this kind of school experience for your kids. You wanted to save this much money. I'm reminding you of your goals, and then reminding you that these are the behaviors that we decided would help you get there. That's accountability. But the last discipline is really important. And it's something that not enough people do, and that is, you got to celebrate your success. And you're not just celebrating the lagging indicator, the closing, the transaction, the dollars, but you gotta celebrate the leading indicator. Hey, you know what? Today I made my phone calls. Today I did my follow-up, right? Today I practiced my scripts and dialogues. Today I got into my software and I'm using the tools that are guiding my business. And if you begin to celebrate those little wins, over time that snowballs into tremendous success. So empathy and the 5 disciplines, that's what it takes to be a great coach today.
Videos today are so important
Yes.
for agents' businesses.
Yes.
But what I've found is that there's a lot of people who are a little hesitant to dive in. Why is that, and what would you suggest for them?
So the first thing is just to acknowledge the fact that it's okay to be afraid, right? I mean, you know, like when you're trying something new, you have that hesitation. Remember that cliff of complacency in the OMG WTF for the people that are at my event, right? It's that I'm a little afraid to do it. Just acknowledge that. But see, what I know is there's stress and there's eustress, right? Stress is the fear and the anxiety of the unknown. Eustress is the same exact feeling. It's the positive stress. So I want to just acknowledge, you know what? This is just something new. It's not scary. This is positive. I want to do it right. I want to message to people the correct way. So when I say to people, rethink, like reframe your thinking to, this is a positive thing, and I want to do it right, and I want to be good for people, and I want to make an impact. And with that mindset, I then say, so how do you get good? You practice. So I've done 1,100 videos on YouTube that I'm aware of. I've probably shot 7,000 videos, right? So it wasn't always one take Tom. In the beginning, I'd grab my phone and I would shoot the video, and I wouldn't hit publish yet, and I wouldn't go live yet. I would just practice, right? What's the right setting? What's the right lighting? Did I have the right opening? Did I use the right hook? Did I have a script? Did I not have a script? It's that simple, right? Actors and actresses that become great don't just get up in front of the camera and wing it, right? A great agent is gonna take the time to say, who is my customer? What's the message I want to deliver? And how long should that message be? 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? I've had 500,000 people on Facebook Live for an hour. If the message is good, they'll stay, right? And what's great about this, for the agent, when they say, what are my clients' biggest problems, right? Can I speak to that? When I'm in the coffee shop, or I'm at the soccer field, or with my friends at hockey, and they say, hey, what's going on with the market? What's happening here? What's happening there? Those same answers you're doing one-on-one, you should be broadcasting one to many. Because if one person's asking you that question, there's thousands of people in the marketplace that are asking the same thing, and you should be the one that's delivering that message. The cardinal sin is to wait for someone in your database, a friend, a past client, or a prospect, to read the information in a newspaper or see it like on a radio program or a podcast or something. You need to be the one that's delivering it. So the first thing is acknowledge we all experience the fear and anxiety. But it's not really fear like I'm gonna die, right? No, instead it's that eustress, it's that positive stress. I wanna be impactful, I wanna make a difference. So when you shift your thinking that direction, you're thinking about the customer, not yourself anymore. And then you ask, what's most important to them? What are their fears about real estate? What are their concerns about the market? How do they feel about interest rates going up? What happens if the stock market makes an adjustment, right? Should I buy a place in Florida? Should I not buy a place in Florida? All these questions you get, you should be shooting short videos on. But the big one, and I'm only speaking to all my female friends because it's like 65% of all of real estate and most of my clients, I just remind them all the time, your friends know what you look like. Right? So if your hair's not perfect, get over it, right? And if you put on a few pounds, everyone already knows because they see you, so get over it, right? You are who you are. You will find your tribe. When you shoot videos, you're gonna have a lot more people commenting and liking what you're doing and being impressed by the fact that you, after all these years in the business, put a phone in front of your face and told people what's going on in the world. Like, people will be blown away by it. The third thing is, very important. When you're shooting videos, and I've done a bazillion of them, online and offline, live stuff, etc. The key is to understand there's always only two kinds of videos: donkeys and unicorns. Donkeys and unicorns. A donkey is, you put the video out there, you get a few likes, nobody really comments, nobody really cares. It happens, right? Sometimes you just put out a song that wasn't that great, right? Mm-hmm. On the flip side, when you have a unicorn, a piece of content you put out and a lot of people are liking it and people start to share it and they're writing lots of comments, when you have those unicorn moments, and I do 5 videos a week, maybe 1 or 2 a week if I'm lucky, hit that unicorn status, then you want to boost it. That's where you want to put some money and really make sure that more and more people hear about it. So really those would be my big 3 points, and we could talk for days on this. Yeah. The one thing I'd remind everybody is stop being a secret agent. Your friends know who you are. They know what you look like. They know what you're all about. They already like you and trust you. You just don't want them to be reading the headlines and learning about the real estate market without you.
Right. Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you.